Alright, so let's now do some angle conversion problem. So in this example, let's say we want to convert from 130 degrees angle to radian. So as the conversion says, we want to convert from degrees to radians. Then, or optionally, theta equals 130 to radians. Now, we already learned through the video lessons that radian is equals to the given degrees multiplied with a pi divided by 180. Or you can also have a, or differently you can rearrange that, and you can think of that as d over 180 multiplied with pi. Either way is going to give you the radians. And so now my radian out of this angle is going to be 130, the given degrees, multiplied with pi over 180. And so common factor 10 got cancelled out. So we're looking at 13 pi over 18. And that's our answer. And now that, keep in mind again that pi, as a clarification, pi, as we have always been knowing it to be approximately 3.14, and it is actually a lot longer than that in the decimal, but usually we still stay with the two decimals here. That's 3.14 is the pi. And so in that, so be aware that sometimes the problem can ask you to re-express your final answer here. This is right now as exact. This is exact expression of the answer. But since pi equals 3.14, then 13 pi over 18, that our answer came out being. Now we can find an approximate by multiply 13 with the 3.14 and divide by 18. Calculation shows we're looking at a 2.23. But so from now on, after seeing this example, you can realize that from now on, a lot of times radians can also be expressed as a decimal as well. And you don't necessarily see, this is in radians, and you don't necessarily see the pi associated with that, but this is already in radians. As a different example, let's convert 60 degrees angle to radians. So notice that 60 degrees is a common angle. So in that way we can easily find out that 60 degrees is the pi over 3 angle. So that's one way of arguing, but this is using the unit circle. But then it's always a good idea to practice using the formula. And so your given angle measurement in degrees multiply with pi over 180. Cancelling out a common factor here, we're looking at a pi over 3 as well. So either way is arriving you at the same result, the same answer. What about when angle is being a negative angle? So let's say theta is equal to negative 140 degrees, and we want to convert this into into radians units. And so the formula, once again, what matters here simply is to use the formula. The degrees given here is negative 140, so negative 140. It is to be multiplied with the ratio pi over 180. And that gives me, we can cancel out the common factor 10, and there's also a common factor of 2 in here, so we're looking at negative 7 pi over 9. And so this is the exact expression. Or we can purposely multiply that expression with the 3.14 for the pi value and get the approximate. So this is approximately negative 2.44. So I need to have a few verifications about the problems I did in the examples. But in that very first problem, when I was doing and came down to 13 times pi over 18 right here, and I did say in the video that it's 13 times 3.14 divided by 18, but indeed I was using my TI calculator, which had a much more precise value of the pi right here, and so consequently my answer here, in case anybody follow along and work along with the example, then you might find out that my answer here was a 2.23, which is not quite slightly different from if you were doing 13 times 3.14 divided by 18 right here. So I have to clarify that if you were really using the approximate 13 times 3.14 divided by 18, your calculation should have come out being 26. And so, most of the time in these days, most of our calculators in these days are advanced enough to take this better, slightly better accurate answer right there. And so another similar clarification is needed here, that at another example problem I did throughout my video, right there, and when it came down to a negative 7 pi over 9, so my calculation, indeed I was using again my TI calculator, and it got me into the value recall from the video that it's negative 2.44. However, if we were using the 3.14 approximate, then the answer must have come out being not too much difference. 2.44 again, we rounded to 2 decimals.